It's a city in the troubled heartland of America that might not yet live in popular imagination like Miami or Detroit. But it just so happens St. Louis, Missouri topped every list of most dangerous American cities and was also the favored contender for Homicide Capital, U.S.A. Yet flowing Way to Happiness booklets outward like that proverbial oil to calm raging seas are St. Louis Way to Happiness directors Barry and Claire Coziahr. They own and operate a St. Louis-based marketing firm expressly established to fuel local dissemination projects. But having witnessed the power of the Way to Happiness elsewhere around the world, they ventured to Colombia to apprentice on the pattern perfected by the Scientology motor vessel Free Winds. After which they vowed to harness that power on behalf of their entire city. And so they opened a Way to Happiness office right in their downtown business premises, whereupon they inaugurated it with the unveiling of an emblematic logo of their own design to signify undying commitment. By way of a first effective step, Barry and Claire advance on City Hall. There they meet with one Freeman Bosley Sr., alderman for St. Louis Ward 3, the single most violent district in the city. Having previously heard tell of what the booklet engenders, the alderman is now formally presented with a copy, which he promptly peruses and just as promptly comes to recognize as an antidote to Ward 3 violence. Whereupon he invites Barry to initiate a Way to Happiness campaign, and so a deal is struck. Not long thereafter, Barry and the alderman address a Ward 3 town council, briefing all present and eliciting support to engage neighborhood activists and concerned parents. But the actual distribution vehicle is now a burgeoning St. Louis unit, advancing with 14,000 booklets into Ward 3 gangland territory. Booklets are funneled across a concrete jungle where 5,000 kids wage a block-by-block war. But between emergency services that pick up the pieces, between younger kids inching towards high-risk age, between gang interventionists and irate parents, there's an almost palpable shift in the social atmosphere, and those Ward 3 crime rates plummet a full 20%. The next crucial connection comes when Barry, Claire and company enter St. Louis education circles, full armed with a complete educator's kit, including lesson plans, booklets, and book on film. They present all of it to teachers, in this case, a Central City high school, who immediately take to the program. They, in turn, just as immediately present booklets to students and proceed to walk them through the precepts. All then culminates with a screening of the book on film to a rapt and attentive classroom. And so it went all over St. Louis schools on the same proven pattern: educator kits to teachers, booklets to students, and the film on the screens. And with the precepts indeed running on screens across elementary schools, middle schools, parochial schools, and high schools. Do not steal. Don't do anything illegal. Do not harm a person of goodwill. And be worthy of trust. It was soon booklets at work in schools across the state of Missouri, until classrooms were truly places to be competent, with crime rates plunging more than 60%. There's still another critical link at this juncture, this one connecting Barry to a religious initiative known as Stop the Killing. It's headed by a minister, Donald Muhammad, of the Nation of Islam, and it's designed to empower St. Louis citizens with a citywide coalition in the name of violence reduction. Then again, given its multi-faith and grassroots, it naturally begets yet another Way to Happiness partnership. The vehicle is a booklet bearing a Stop the Killing logo. And it's soon in evidence across the greater St. Louis religious community, where Barry presents copies right from the pulpit. Whereupon it too takes on a life of its own with spontaneous activation. And so it went, all over congregations of every denomination, all over every demographic, all over every race and creed, and even into the St. Louis Community Center, where it was in-depth seminars on rebuilding broken homes, sheltering displaced families, and aiding the infirm, until it was yet another 50,000 booklets in the hands of St. Louis citizens. But still, there was more, as Barry next took to the Christian airwaves on community access radio. And that was the one that ignited a full-blown popular movement, wherein Barry and company were besieged with calls from those wishing to make the precepts their own. Whereupon, it was a wave of customized booklets from along every avenue of St. Louis commerce and trade, from salons and neighborhood barbershops to restaurants, cafes, and pizzerias, from animal rights groups and farms to police, park rangers, and even tattoo parlors. At which point, with the way to happiness now a catchphrase to more than 1.5 million people, St. Louis is no longer America's most dangerous city. Rather, it's now a place of newfound pride and security, with a citywide crime drop of 21%. And that's the way to happiness, helping to transform the heartland of a nation.